The crisp, cool night air filled Don Haines' lungs as he stepped out of his car and onto the tarmac of the local airport. The sound of his footsteps echoed in the quiet of the early morning, a familiar rhythm that had become the soundtrack of his life as an aviation mechanic. As he entered the hangar, the scent of oil and fuel enveloped him, a comforting reminder of the machines he loved so dearly. Don had always been fascinated by the sky, spending his days fixing engines and fueling aircraft, and his nights gazing up at the stars, dreaming of the endless possibilities that lay beyond. But this particular day, March 13, 1997, his fascination for the sky would take on a whole new meaning. As he finished up his shift and headed home, the sun began to set, painting the horizon in a brilliant array of oranges and pinks. As he drove down the highway, the last remnants of daylight fading from the sky, Don couldn't shake the feeling that something was different. The air seemed to buzz with an energy he couldn't quite place, a sense of anticipation that made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. And then, without warning, it appeared. A massive V-shaped craft, its lights flashing in a mesmerizing pattern, hovering in the sky above him. Don felt his heart race as he pulled over to the side of the road, his hands shaking as he gripped the steering wheel. He watched in awe as the craft moved slowly and silently through the night sky, a sight that would forever be etched in his memory. Don didn't know that he was just one of thousands of witnesses to the Phoenix Lights, a mass UFO sighting that would become one of the most significant and well-documented events in history. As he stood there on the side of the road, watching the craft disappear into the distance, he knew that his life would never be the same again.
Phoenix Tower, I've got a craft in my 12 o'clock position, about 1 o'clock. Can you tell me what that is? Bonanza 2 Tango Sierra.
Negative, Bonanza 2 Tango Sierra. We show no traffic in front of you.
But I've got a big V-shaped craft right in front of me. It's got a series of lights along its edges. They're flashing in a strange pattern. Can you check your radar? Bonanza 2 Tango Sierra.
2 Tango Sierra. We're not showing anything on radar.
Well, I'm telling you, it's there. It's huge. Phoenix Tower, I need to declare an unidentified flying object. Bonanza 2 Tango Sierra.
This exchange might seem like a routine conversation between a pilot and air traffic control, but what makes it remarkable is the identity of the pilot. It was none other than Kurt Russell, the famous actor, who was flying his son to Phoenix that night. Russell's description of the craft's appearance and movement is consistent with what thousands of other witnesses reported seeing that same evening. On the night of March 13, 1997, the people of Phoenix, Arizona witnessed something extraordinary. A massive V-shaped craft, estimated to be over a mile wide, hovered silently in the sky for over an hour. Witnesses described the craft as having a series of lights along its edges, flashing in a mesmerizing pattern, unlike anything they had ever seen before. The first reports of the sighting came in from the town of Prescott, Arizona, around 8:30 p.m. As the craft made its way south towards Phoenix, more and more people began to take notice. Witnesses reported seeing the craft moving slowly and silently through the sky, its lights flashing in a rhythmic sequence. By 9:30 p.m., the craft had been spotted in multiple locations across the state, including Phoenix, Scottsdale, and Tucson. Eyewitnesses described the craft as being incredibly large, with some estimating it to be over a mile wide. Despite its size, the craft moved with a gracefulness and fluidity that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Many witnesses reported feeling a sense of awe and wonder as they watched the craft glide silently overhead.
Pulled into the driveway, which we were heading west. Hal was sitting in the front, and as I came around to the side of the door, he looked out the side window and he saw up in the direction of Prescott 5 distinct lights that it actually looked like they were on top of a balloon. As we were looking at them, I said, well, what is that? Is that a balloon with lights on it? Why would they have lights on a balloon like that? And, you know, the lights were so clear and distinct, and they were very close together. But as we watched them, then we could see that whatever this was coming towards us because the lights, the distance between the lights started getting greater and greater.
I was at a dinner party when we all saw it. We went outside and watched it for over an hour. It moved so smoothly and silently, like it was gliding on air. The lights were mesmerizing, almost hypnotic.
I was at home with my family when we saw it. We all went outside and watched it together. It was a really special moment. Seeing something so incredible and unexplainable, it's something I'll never forget.
The Phoenix Lights sighting was a truly mass UFO event, with thousands of people across the city reporting the same thing. Despite the varying angles and locations from which the craft was observed, the descriptions remained remarkably consistent. A massive V-shaped craft with flashing lights, moving silently and smoothly through the night sky.
I would say that there was a very mysterious event that happened over, not just over Phoenix, but over Maricopa County. Something we'd never seen before, exceptionally bright lights up in the sky that didn't conform to anything that we had ever known before, and it has never been explained.
Governor Symington's sighting added even more credibility to the reports coming in from across the city. The Phoenix Lights had captured the attention of an entire state and would go on to become one of the most well-documented and significant UFO events in history. In the days and weeks following the event, witnesses began to share their stories and draw pictures of what they had seen. The consistency in their descriptions and drawings was striking, leaving little doubt that something truly extraordinary had taken place in the skies over Phoenix that night. The Phoenix Lights remain one of the most compelling and well-documented UFO sightings in history. The sheer number of witnesses, the consistency of their descriptions, and the duration of the event all point to the fact that something truly remarkable took place on that night in March of 1997. It's a reminder that there are still mysteries in our world that defy explanation, and that the truth may be closer than we think. In the aftermath of the Phoenix Lights incident, the U.S. Air Force claimed that the sighting was simply a case of misidentified flares dropped during a training exercise. However, many witnesses disputed this explanation, pointing out that the characteristics and movement of the lights didn't match those of flares. Despite the numerous eyewitness accounts and video evidence, the official stance remained unchanged. This decision to brush aside the concerns of the public and maintain secrecy surrounding UFO sightings is not an isolated incident, as revealed by the testimony of David Grusch, a former Air Force intelligence officer. David Grusch is a highly decorated veteran who served as an intelligence officer in the Air Force for over a decade. During his time in the military, Grusch was privy to classified information regarding UFO sightings and investigations. In 2019, he decided to come forward as a whistleblower, revealing the extent of the government's cover-up of UFO incidents.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
In recent years, the Pentagon has released several videos captured by Navy pilots, which show unidentified objects displaying advanced flight capabilities. These videos, known as the Nimitz, Gimbal, and Go Fast, have been confirmed as authentic by the Department of Defense. The release of these videos marks a significant shift in the government's approach to UFO transparency. The fact that the Pentagon has acknowledged the existence of these unidentified objects is a step towards greater disclosure. However, Many questions remain unanswered, and the full extent of the government's knowledge of UFOs is still shrouded in secrecy. The American people have a right to know the truth. The government's policy of denial and disinformation needs to end. It's time for full transparency and accountability. The Phoenix Lights incident, along with countless other UFO sightings, remains a testament to the government's long-standing practice of concealing the truth from the public. As more whistleblowers like David Grusch come forward and new evidence emerges, it becomes increasingly clear that the cover-up surrounding UFOs is beginning to unravel. The question is no longer whether UFOs exist, but rather why the government has gone to such great lengths to keep this information hidden. The public deserves answers, and it is up to us to demand transparency and accountability from our elected officials. Only then can we hope to uncover the truth behind the Phoenix Lights and other UFO incidents that have captured the world's attention for decades.
The Phoenix Lights incident and the subsequent government cover-up raises important questions about our society's approach to the deeper questions. Why are we so quick to dismiss and ridicule those who report UFO sightings, even when there is compelling evidence to support their claims? The knee-jerk reaction to dismiss UFO sightings as the product of overactive imaginations or outright fabrications is a reflection of our deep-seated fear of the unknown. We are conditioned to believe that our current understanding of the world is complete, and that anything that challenges that understanding must be false. But history has shown us time and again that scientific progress often comes from unexpected places. Many of the most groundbreaking discoveries in science were initially met with skepticism and ridicule, only to be proven true through further investigation and evidence. By dismissing UFO sightings outright, we are potentially closing the door on new avenues of scientific inquiry. What if studying these phenomena could lead to breakthroughs in propulsion technology, energy production, or our understanding of the nature of the universe itself? But the implications of the Phoenix Lights go beyond just scientific progress. By denying the experiences of those who have witnessed UFOs, we are also denying them the opportunity for personal growth and transformation.
Seeing the Phoenix Lights changed everything for me. It made me realize that there's so much more to the universe than I ever imagined. It opened my mind to new possibilities and new ways of thinking.
After my UFO sighting, I felt a deep sense of connection to something greater than myself. It was a spiritual awakening of sorts, and it forever altered the course of my life.
For many people, witnessing a UFO is a deeply profound and transformative experience. It challenges their assumptions about the nature of reality and their place in the universe. By dismissing their experiences, we are denying them the opportunity to grow and evolve as individuals. Ultimately, the Phoenix Lights incident is a call to action. It challenges us to confront our fear of the unknown and to approach the world with an open and curious mind. It reminds us that there is still so much to be discovered and learned, both about the universe and about ourselves. By embracing the possibility of UFOs and other unexplained phenomena, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new ways of being. We become more receptive to the mysteries of the universe and more attuned to the wonders that surround us.
To dive deeper into stories like these, stories that chill the spine and stir the imagination, make sure to hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And don't forget to subscribe to CurioWonders. Here we unravel the mysteries of the unexplained and the unknown. From haunted histories to enigmatic legends, our journey is endless, and we'd love for you to join us. Click that bell icon too, to get notified about our latest adventures into the shadows of our world's most intriguing mysteries. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the world of the strange and mysterious, there's always more to the story. Until next time, keep wondering, keep wandering, and keep exploring the depths of our fascinating world.